Well, good afternoon. This is Jared with your Stampede Blue Indianapolis Colts post-game wrap. The Colts won today at home and beat the New York Jets. The final score was 36 to 7. The Colts have now outscored their last two opponents 64 to 18, and yes, that's 4 times as many points as their opponents. Philip Rivers was 17 for 21 for 217 yards. He threw a touchdown, no interceptions, and was not sacked today. Additionally, the Colts defense held Jets quarterback Sam Darnold to 17 for 29 for 168 yards. He threw a touchdown, had 3 interceptions, 2 of those returned for a touchdown. Now, the Colts defense was up to its what appears to be growth, right? An absolutely dominant performance. Not only did they only allow 7 points, one scoring drive, and turned the ball over 3 times. Xavier Rhodes had 2 interceptions, one return for a touchdown, and TJ Carey had an interception return for a touchdown today. Uh, Rookie running back Jonathan Taylor had 13 carries for 59 yards and a touchdown. T.Y. Hilton had a great game, 3 catches on 3 targets for 52 yards. Additionally, Mo Alley-Cox had 3 catches for 52 yards and a touchdown. The Colts defense, again, playing out of its mind. Darius Leonard had 11 tackles, 7 solo tackles, and a tackle for a loss. And then really, the Colts really put together a complete game when you get to put in Jacoby Brissett, who was 2 for 4 for 17 yards, and his rating was still higher than Sam Darnold, and he got to play the full game. Looking around the AFC, the Titans did beat the Vikings 31-30. The Texans lost to the Steelers 28-21, and the Jacksonville Jaguars lost on Thursday night to the Dolphins. The Colts look ahead to next week, and they play the 3-0 Chicago Bears in Soldier Field, and that'll be an interesting game given that Mitch Trubisky was benched today, and Nick Foles led the Bears to their third win this season. The Colts, again, have been able to move the ball on offense, but have lacked a certain punch, I suppose. It's awfully good getting 14 points from your defense, which you don't normally get. But even without those 2 touchdowns, I think the Colts still probably win like 22-7. And while not nearly as splashy as a 30-67 victory is, to me, again, anytime I can sit and say, well, the Colts have now outscored their last two opponents 64-18, and then we go in to week 4 at 2-1. Very much in the division race, very much looking like a live team, and I think it's going to take continued good fortune, particularly good health, as you kind of watch around the league. Lots of skill players, lots of guys that are playmakers that touch the ball a lot are getting injured. The Jets today were a good example of a team that were kind of wrought with injuries. A lot of people are going to point out the relative ease with which teams open against the Colts on offense. Teams tend to be able to move the ball, and this is until the halftime when the Colts are able to make adjustments and then come back in the second half and it'll be a very different football game. I think it speaks more towards making these moves on the fly. Obviously, Berrios came literally off the street for the Jets and had a pretty effective afternoon. And I think that it's difficult to defend someone that you don't have any recent film on. And I get it, you're just supposed to be able to go out there and play football. But that's what the Colts defense does, is they go out there and play. They limited Frank Gore to a little over 3 yards a carry. And like I said, forced Sam Darnold into a pretty sour afternoon, all things considered. And then again, there are instances where Sam did get the better of the Colts defense and did make the defensive line for the Colts looking like, he juked them out of their shorts. But the reality is that he's just a little bit better of an athlete than the average quarterback, and as a result, he's just a little slippery. So you got to give credit where it's due. But got a long way to go. Does Sam definitely needs to get some weapons back, and that's going to help determine the course of their season. Obviously, would love to play every team fully healthy. Of course, we'd love to be healthy as well, right? We'd love to have Marlon and Paris Campbell back, right, among others. So yeah, great win for the Colts today. Great to get a win in front of 7,500 fans. Hopefully you're all socially distancing and wearing masks. But yeah, Colts got a big win. They're 2-1 on the season. We got another big outing out of like I said, all things considered, a big outing out of the offense. A pretty effective ground game. Got a lot of people involved. That's kind of how Phillip Rivers likes to do it. But most importantly, didn't turn the ball over on offense and forced turnovers on defense and got points off those turnovers. So all that said, fantastic afternoon for the Colts. Obviously, looking ahead to Week 4, getting the Bears on the road, and a really good opportunity to go 3-1 in his first 4 games. Again, this has been Jared with Stampede Blue. This is your Indianapolis Colts post-game wrap. Enjoy the rest of the games this week. Got great games tonight for Sunday Night Football and tomorrow for Monday Night Football. So be on the lookout for those. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you after next week's games.